Another point of the lecture today, that is literature communicates experience. So my dear students, what do you think? Literature can communicate or it cannot? If it can, then how? And if cannot, then why? Obviously, literature communicates experience because literature is life. This is about life. This is about human beings. This is about society. This is about different periods. So obviously literature communicates experience. So today I'll tell you how literature does it. The experience which lived in the author's mind must live again in the reader's mind. So this is communication. As you know, that communication is a two-way process. One is the sender and the other one is the receiver. So the reader, while reading any kind of book, he is basically the receiver, and the message the writer wants to deliver to the receiver, that is also very much important, and the writer is basically the sender of the message. So the author basically tries to deliver or to tell about his experience to the reader. So that experience must live again in the reader's mind as well. Fine. The writer has not merely to give the reader what he has experienced or how the experience has been taken. So here, what and how things are not important. Like how he has experienced certain thing, how he has faced any mental trauma in past, and what he has experienced. These two things are basically not important. But what is important is that he must give to the reader his own experience. So this is like just giving the experience to the reader by putting him in a certain situation. In that particular situation, the reader feels the essence of the literature by himself. So this is the thing which is very much important. That's the pure essence of literature as well. The experience, whole and entire, must be communicated to the reader. So the experience is transplanted in the reader's mind, and then the experience would be communicated to the reader as well. For example, the writer is trying to say something to the reader. So what he does by putting certain kind of examples, like putting his or her imagination in form of words, so he is giving a kind of experience to the reader that is very much important. This is not easy to attain because the writer's experience is his own. So there must be a confusion in your mind as well, my dear students, that the experience is that of the writer and not of the reader. So that is why writing any kind of book, composing any poetry book, writing any kind of novel, that is not an easy task. So here the confusion lies in the question that how a writer can deliver his or her experience to the reader, because that is his own experience. So usually we think that it is not possible, but this is possible. I'll tell you how. It is the very process of his own life, no doubt. It is in the possession of the writer, and by no possibility it can be shared by another person, but the writer can do so by the power of imagination. Here we are moving towards another point, that is the power of imagination. Like you imagine something, you put your imagination in your work, and then you hand over that work to the reader, and the reader feels your experience. That is why it is literature is art. His experience may be actual or a sort of daydreaming, but imagination can transform it into something as a whole to the reader. So it depends what kind of experience the writer had. That can be actual, that can be a daydreaming, or that is, in other words, we can say that that is based on the pure imagination only. But the task of the writer is that to transform that experience into the reader's mind, that he feels the essence, he feels the happiness, he feels the sadness in that while writing that kind of work which he has composed.